I want to teach what it's like to go from, a year ago, we shot at the same mansion for 5 days. Then a year later, we shot at it again for 5 days. And instead of 30 pages, which is a good amount to get done in that time period, we got 60 pages done. Not only that, we got better acting, better cinematography, because we shot every scene with 3 to 5 cameras simultaneously. How did I light them? I made sure that each camera felt like somebody else's single camera they shot and lit, or even better. Like I feel that way. I feel confident with that we made something that feels like a movie on every angle. But we did it that way to be able to get all the performances. So if I'm making this film, it's because I have that burden on my heart. If I'm trying to become a filmmaker, it's because I have that burden on my heart. If I'm making Moviemaker Ministry, it's because I have a burden on my heart. And if that burden on my heart doesn't, if I get shot trying to climb the hill, it's fine. It's what it is. It's just, I'm glad I went for it. You're supposed to. I did exactly what I was supposed to do, because maybe me trying to storm the hill, even if it fails, it provided someone else the chance to get further up the hill. It distracted the gunner from somebody else who had a better chance of getting up the hill than me. So if I'm putting out this podcast, and I think what I'm going to be doing soon is probably doing free masterclasses. I want to do a masterclass on all the things I've learned of filmmaking, and I might be doing this for free. I thought about doing it as a paid thing. I don't like that. I really don't. I just want this to be the best resource out there for filmmakers to learn the craft of writing and directing films the way that my favorite filmmakers, Nolan, Tarantino, and Tarkovsky, inspired me, that I had to dig relentlessly to learn about. But I want to also teach how to have that intentional relationship with Christ to guide the process of writing and directing said films. I want to put together a masterclass for free that covers all that. That is way more valuable than I have any right to be putting it for free. But really, it comes back to that grace thing of Christ died so that we could be on the beach and storm the hill, so to say, when it comes to the spiritual war in this world. Well, I want to be the guy who does everything in his power to help people get up the beach. I don't care if it's me getting up the beach. I want to help other people get up the beach. So that's what matters to me. So I'm going to be putting out a masterclass for free. I'm just putting that out there right now. So it'd be probably Movie Maker Masterclass, lesson 1, lesson 2, everything. But I think that's going to be a powerhouse. I think that's going to be everything I've wanted to do as a class on filmmaking. I'm just going to make it free, I think. And I'm sure if it resonates with people, I'll be able to have sponsors or something, advertising, some kind of thing, the way to make money. I'm not going to worry about it really. But I think that's going to be very meaningful, because more than anything, I just want to see other filmmakers thrive at this and learn from everything I've learned. I've recognized over the last 10 years for 15 years of making films, but 10 of them I spent really paying attention to what I was learning and what influenced me the most. Podcasts I would listen to, things that helped me. And there was parts of my journey where I'm like, I don't feel like I just want to be a filmmaker. I want to be somebody who teaches and helps people, but I don't want to be a teacher. I want to be a filmmaker. I want to be both. But I didn't know how to do that, because it takes a lot of effort and work to do both well. Filmmaking is, I'll be honest, man, doing this feature film has just been draining. It's been debilitating. It's been hard. But I want to teach everything I've learned on how to make it so that it's doable. And not only doable, but something that people can succeed at, as I'm learning how to do that myself. Because at the end of the day, I don't care. I don't want to be the only filmmaker or the best filmmaker. I want to be the filmmaker who people felt served them the most. Like, I want to be the filmmaker who not only does great work, but people appreciate my work because I was an open book. Here, you like this aspect of my work. You don't like this aspect, whatever, but if you like this aspect, I'm going to teach you how to do that. If you don't like that aspect, I'll let you know what I did wrong there so that you don't make that same mistake. And I don't think I've ever seen that before. I mean, I've seen it somewhat, but like, I've never seen a filmmaker or an artist go to that length of teaching all the things that I want to teach. Like, I'm not just talking about things that I've learned from 40 masterclasses about filmmaking and writing and acting. I want to teach people how to write and direct and act and do cinematography on a film simultaneously, which is something we did on our most recent film shoot, which I think would be a good segue to get into soon. But I want to teach all of this. I want to teach what it's like to go from, a year ago, we shot at the same mansion for 5 days. Then a year later, we shot at it again for 5 days. And instead of 30 pages, which is a good amount to get done in that time period, we got 60 pages done. Not only that, we got better acting, better cinematography, because we shot every scene with 3 to 5 cameras simultaneously. How did I light them? I made sure that each camera felt like somebody else's single camera they shot and lit, or even better. Like, I feel that way. I feel confident with that we made something that feels like a movie on every angle. But we did it that way to be able to get all the performances, the acting. We made sure that we had a lot of takes to practice the lines for 2, make sure we're comfortable with it, do the improv to get the actors into a place that we could then slingshot from that into some takes on the lines, then come back to the improv to try something else out, slingshot back into the takes on the lines, and really do this as an effort to get us to a certain place emotionally that feels organic and real and natural and flows and just is exciting and entertaining to watch and interesting and captivating. And at no cost to production, logistics, the efficiency, no cost to the cinematography, and do it in such a way where I felt like it was the hardest experience of my life, but we had peace going in and peace going through it and peace coming out of it. I made sure that leading up to the shoot, I spent a lot of time in prayer. I did all the things to prepare myself. I treated this very carefully. I respected that we were about to do something very difficult, and it was going to push me and test me in ways I've never been tested before. And going in, I felt at the most peace I'd ever felt. It could cost me thousands of dollars and the morale of everyone if it went south. But God gave me the peace. It wasn't me. It was God gave me the peace to go through it. And we got through it. He was with us. And it is so rewarding to, dump the footage and back it up once, but then be able to go to the beach or go wherever you need to go to sit in prayer for 10 or 12 hours and just really find your union with the Lord again, so you don't make that shoot an idol, and then come back and find that everything works, that you got it all. You just got a huge chunk of your feature film done for a fraction of what it would have cost if you spread it out over months. So it was a very, very big efficiency boost. And not only that, I think this is the best work I've done as a leader. Granted, I can do a lot better with things. There's moments where I panicked about something that I needed to get better at, or moments where I'm like, why am I complaining about this? Yeah, it's hard. I wanted this. Be quiet, Tom. Just do the work. Like, there's times where I've complained about what I did, and I'm like, it went exceptionally well. Things I complained about is like, yeah, on day 5, my brain started melting. My body started like shutting down because it was 5 18-hour days of being a cinematographer and actor, who memorized and had to perform 60 pages of lines, and or cinematographer, director, producer, making sure all the logistics worked. I had to manage about 20 or 30 people, over the course of that week. And it was hard, but I also had to make sure I held myself together in the sense of I had to, be able to show up as a leader, be involved in what I was doing and not impressed with myself. And I think I did pretty decent at that. But yeah, it was a huge challenge, but I'm really happy and grateful to God and how it went down. And but yeah, day 5, I got to a point where I could look at my lines and I could look up and I didn't remember them, or even though I remembered them or memorized them, I couldn't remember them off the top of my head, and I could look at it and not read what I just wrote. So I had to like find a way to, go off to another room, drill it a bunch of times. That didn't work, which scared me because I did the entire drilling process I used for memorization. I then had it in front of me on the table out of the shot, and I would go through it, look down if I needed to, but eventually I was able to do it without having to look down really. And I had the confidence to go through it, and we also found the character. So it was supposed to be a 6-day shoot. Once we packed up the mansion, I had another backup location another location with scenes to some pickup scenes to do. So that was not as big consequences, but I remember not, everything we didn't have everything we needed for that. So maybe it wasn't like that day wasn't meant to be. Also, I just was not in the pocket anymore. I've never gotten there before, and I'm blessed that everything turned out the way that it did on the mansion though. And I'm blessed that I learned. I'm blessed that I learned that, okay, Tom, maybe 5 18-hour days is, you don't want to exceed that. You might not want to exceed 4 or 3. Just give yourself a break day in between that, because if you're wearing as many hats as you do, as you like to, and you choose to, which is your call, it's nuts, but it's your call. Yeah, might want to put a cap on that, chill out a little bit. But other than that, I'm really grateful to God and how it turned out. And I could not have done that on my own ability. I acknowledge that. This was God working in this in every way. If I didn't pray as much as I did going into the shoot and ask him to bless it, if I didn't ask him to bless all the cameras and the equipment and my crew and my cast, there were so many moments where somebody had to leave or something, and we were down a crew member that we needed, and then somebody's like, "Oh, my sister wants to join us," or so they came, and then a piece of equipment broke, and the sister had the piece of equipment in the car, and there was like other people who filled in when other people unexpectedly had to drop out. There was car trouble which people would have, but then they would get there on time. It was just an amazing thing, and there was spiritual warfare. There was a really cool thing where I realized pairs has become an inside joke in my life.